All right, what's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Let's talk Andy Ruiz losing weight. He's cutting down on the pounds. A couple photos that's been floating around on the internet. Okay, and he looks a lot lighter. Right, here's a picture where he's kind of posing with a shirt on. Looks like one of those IG pictures and stuff. You know how people do. It looks a little edited, but I think he is losing the weight. I just don't think he's lost as much. He's still going to be chubby. I don't think he's going to turn into Mike Perez. You know how Mike Perez came back as a cruiserweight, even though he was a heavyweight all this time. He came down as a ripped diesel cruiserweight. I don't think we're going to get that out of Andy Ruiz, but I think that it's good. I think it's a good thing that he's losing weight. But from the mixed reviews that I'm reading on the internet, a lot of people don't like it because they think that he's not going to be able to absorb the punches as well. They think that he should be coming in heavy because that's the way he's been fighting his whole career. And, being slimmer may not be as good. They question his conditioning and how is it going to be. Um, and all that kind of sort of stuff. I really don't know, and I won't know how this can be beneficial for him. I would think that it would be better for him to cut down on the pounds. Even though he was a replacement fighter. He was active. He did fight recently before the Joshua fight, but he fought at a weight that he normally is, real chubby. So if he cuts down, what I will say is this: I think it's good that he's cutting down this far ahead of the fight. Being that this fight was announced a little while ago now, and it was all the mess between the negotiations and stuff. He wanted more money, the whole Saudi Arabia stuff, what was going to be the location of this fight. I remember seeing a lot of channels post videos talking about Andy Ruiz and how he wasn't preparing for this fight, how he was partying too much, he was eating too much, all this stuff. I was hearing a lot of stuff, and we really didn't have any proof of that. Of course, he bought a Rolls Royce, and yeah, he was out in public and seen out in public a lot more often, but this is like right after he won. There's no way to really tell if he's training or not. And if he is training, I mean, how do you know he's not training outside of the videos and the pictures that we see him floating around on the internet? How do we know he's not training? How do we know he's just partying? We don't really know. We don't know that. So what I will say is that I like the fact that he's cutting down and he has so much time. It's not like he has an 8-week, 7-week training camp and he's trying to cut down and lose all this weight while preparing for a fight. That's what guys that blow up and wait in between fights do. They get a fight, a fight is announced in 8 weeks, and then now they're not only preparing for that opponent, but they're cutting down and they're getting back in boxing shape. Whereas Ruiz, he has another 7, 8 weeks to still go before the fight, and he's already lost a lot of weight, which is very, very good. I think the timing between the time that they started, well, since the previous fight, because we already knew it was going to be a rematch. So Joshua, who's been trying to slim down some, cut down a little bit in weight as well, and Ruiz, who's also cutting down in weight, I think they're going to be at their very, very best by the time they face each other. All right, they already have experience in fighting each other. I'm sure both are going to have similar but some differences in the game plan and fighting each other. And I think at the end of the day, whoever wins or loses, we shouldn't be getting any experience, any excuses, because they've had so much time to prepare. You know. So anyway, I like the fact that he's slimming down some. I think it just shows how motivated he is to win still. Some people win and they're getting paid so much money. The money comes so fast and the popularity comes so fast, and they don't really know what to do with it. Whereas it seems like Ruiz really wants to win the rematch. Like he really wants to make history and possibly become undisputed if he wins this and go on to fight Wilder or whoever's holding the WBC title at that time. Um, I think Ruiz is really motivated, and that the fact that he's cutting down some, I think is really a good sign, and I'm waiting to see what Joshua does because, uh, I think Joshua is going to be a little lighter, but I don't think it's going to be as light as what people are expecting. I mean, Joshua is naturally a big, strong, muscular guy, whereas Ruiz is a naturally chubby guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think when it comes to fight time, I think they're both going to be lighter, but I think there's still going to be Ruiz is still going to be chubby at the end of the day. He's not going to come in there ripped and with a six pack like Mike Perez. He's still going to be chubby, but I'm just interested in seeing the fight. I want to see uh, the difference, especially with Joshua. Not of his actual look, but I just want to see what he's going to do different in the ring that night. I want to see if he can actually change within one training camp. Especially if we got everything else going into what people were saying about him getting knocked out by Joey DeWeco, him being concussed, him all the things that happened before leading up into the time that they actually fought. Uh, and me personally, I think me and my videos and the reviews that I've done of that fight. A lot of it I blame on the decisions that Joshua chose to make that night of the fight while he was in the ring. I thought uh, I don't know what the game plan was, but I think he made some poor choices in that third round that led to him getting knocked out. And I personally believe that he was trying to stop Ruiz in great fashion to show off in New York City. I mean, and try to duplicate what Wilder did with Brazil. I think this guy just totally fumbled and made a huge mistake and got countered and paid for it. You know, I know everyone talks about everything else that happened. All these conspiracies. And I'm not saying none of that stuff is true. That I think there is some truth to it, especially with the sparring. But I still believe Joshua could have won that fight, and Joshua did knock Andy Ruiz down. I think people are forgetting that. So yeah. So I'm interested in seeing what happens. I think I will give another breakdown at some point. This is my first video actually talking about the fight itself. And at some point I will do a rematch breakdown and give you my prediction like I normally would do. But I want to see how things go as the weeks go by. And I also got to do a video on Deontay Wilder and Ortiz and their rematch as well. All right, so I'm going to cut it at there. Not a long video. I like what I see from Ruiz, and I think it's good that he's doing it with the long period of time that he has. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, dislike, support the channel. Donate if you can. Hit me on Instagram, whatever. And I'll see you guys on the next video.